Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are around the world. Big welcome to In the Know with Peter No. My name is Peter No. I am your Senior Presidential Director here with LifeWave. I'll be your coach for the next hour. I'm going to be your best friend also if you need a shoulder to cry on, because sometimes life gets pretty heavy and tough, right? But that's why we have this hour right here so we can detox, let it all out, and just talk about things that needs to grow you, build you, leverage you, and make sure we're going to duplicate you. So today is March 13th. This month is a very special month for our entire Team Evolve, as many of you have already seen our brand new schedule. So, who here has seen the brand new schedule? Does it feel a little bit lighter? How do we know that it felt a little bit lighter this week? And today's Wednesday. Because on Monday we had 280 people on the call, I believe, or 240, 280. And guess how many we had last night on Dr. Stacy's call on a Tuesday?
Almost 350.
504 participants. Everyone, last week I started to prepare everyone, for this build out. Whatever we're doing as an organization and as a team, this is why I love these private gym times, is because you can actually see changes. You can feel things apply, correct? But you can also see results right away. When you make changes, when you do something, remember, I've always been training this. We are not changing our system. We are not changing what we say, what we do. We are just changing the flow of the schedule so we can start leveraging and flowing together much more efficient, right? And the results now you can see every day when you start eliminating a few things, when you maybe can start eliminating a couple of hours away from the entire organization, and when you can just tell everyone to meet up in this one gym at this time. Did you see all what happened last night? That is only the beginning, but that is called instant results. Can you imagine that we are a corporation, a real company, like Team Evolve was a real company, and we have 100,000 employees? How do you communicate with 100,000 employees? We are actually even more efficient than a corporation, because of a click of a finger, we can get 1,000 or 2,000 people together all on a Zoom without even like making like a crazy announcement or letting people know a week ahead, instantly. Because why? Because we are a generational, communicated, close organization. Because every leader knows what to do, because we've kept it this simple to communicate, right? We have developed now in the last couple of years communication lines. Can anybody guess what our communication lines are? Facebook, team page, Telegrams, all the Telegram groups. From the Facebook, we even have private messengers from different groups, right? Each one, like Karen could have a group.
Just lost the host.
Did he tap his Facebook button and he went on Facebook Live now?
Peter,
He's
come
holding
back.
out.
Yeah, I think so. He lost, yeah.
But maybe he's testing us that we're still going to be here an hour from now because we committed
That's
this.
a good one,
We
Heidi.
can talk for an hour.
Hold on,
Where'd he
everyone.
go?
Use him
Hold
while
on,
he's
hold
gone.
on.
I
Did
We
think
were
you
gonna
all
take
see that?
over.
Yeah.
Did you
Is he
did you all
back?
see that? Did you all see that? Literally, my internet just got cut off. Okay.
Uh-oh.
So we're still recording. We're still good. Everything's good.
Dangerous info.
Oh man, they're watching us now. Watch out now. All right, everyone. Let me see. Let me get my internet back. Let me see. Jennifer, you can mute everyone, right? Everyone can see me or no?
I
You can see
can't.
me.
Your host.
Yes, we see you and hear you.
Your
can
host
see
is
you.
Patching Podcast.
You're
I'm
good,
the-
Peter.
Okay, we're good. Okay, we're good. Let's
Yeah,
mute
I'm not.
everyone.
I'm co-host. You're good.
We're good. Okay, let's do this. Oh man, friggin' technology. Yeah.
If
shoot.
everybody can make sure they're muted too, that would help.
And let's mute everyone. So, what was I saying? Where was I at? We have the communication lines. We have communication lines. Okay. So we have our messengers. We have Telegram. We have Facebook team page. Outside of that, we have multiple platforms that we communicate with. The moral of the story is this: we are actually a communicating team. And today on this call, I kind of want to go even more deeper to help each one of you understand how did we develop this? Would you guys like to know how it was developed so you can have a better understanding how we fit into your life, how we really can add more value to your life, and how we can, it's called influence you. We cannot force you to do anything. You know that, right? We have to inspire each other to do things. So if we can all inspire each other every day, right? The leaders are leading. So let's talk about a little bit about leadership. Leadership. This is a very touchy topic. Does everybody agree? Leadership is very touchy because leadership, the word leadership can be taken many, many wrong ways. If you're a person of authority, can you lead people? Yes. If you have power, you can lead people. Can you lead people to the wrong way or the right way? Correct, right? In network marketing, you have uplines. Uplines, right? Let me repeat this one a couple of times, okay? Just because they're your uplines, that does not mean they can lead you. This might touch a couple people's buttons. Just because we are your uplines, that does not mean we can lead you. You have to define who you want you to lead, who can lead you. How do you define that? These are tricky questions, right? How do you define who you should follow or who should be your leader, or how do you define that? Go ahead, Heidi. I'll let you unmute.
It was probably a year ago that you said you follow those that you know, like, and trust. And I love those three priorities. I
Mhm.
have to know you, to like you, to trust you.
Exactly. Know, like, and trust. So if we know, like, and trust, Heidi, that means we resonate with someone that is like you or better than you, correct? Now, outside of leading, once you have that trust, you're developing a relationship, correct? Can relate. What does it take to make a relationship good, or what does it take to maintain relationships, everyone? Communication. You got to be able to talk. Now, can we assume things? Can we take things the wrong way? Can sometimes someone have a bad day or raise their voice some way, or somebody can take things the wrong way? Can you have different perception on things all the time? Yes. That's called relationships. Even in our business, because we're not each other's boss. Always remember that. But because of that, you have to even be more careful of the things that you say and do, because you're constantly influencing people. Now, just like a relationship, whether it's a boyfriend, girlfriend, dating, husband and wives, mother and children, spouses, right? Don't you think on a daily basis, each one of us, you are communicating many, many, many different type of people around you constantly every day? So what can make your life better? What can make your life smoother when you start leading people? You're going to have to elevate your communication skills. You're going to have to really be like compassionate and understand. And then the next level of communication is boundaries. Who here has boundaries? I hope so. Because after you communicate for a while, and if you're not on the same page with, sometimes if you don't feel safe, or if you feel like, this is, you're not understanding each other, or you are putting energy and effort to learn about someone or your partners, and if you're not on the same page on things, can you have boundaries and draw lines? Why is this topic so important today? Because we're talking about leadership, and leadership comes down to this first. Are you leading your first? Are you leading yourself? Shar is like, yeah, that's a good one. Am I leading myself? Am I leading myself to the right day to spend my time? Am I leading myself to spend the right energy with the right relationships? Am I leading myself in my right direction to my health, my time, my financial freedom? Am I constantly leading myself? And in this business, we all know, right? Network marketing is a self-development journey with a compensation plan wrapped around it. If you cannot lead yourself, if you cannot change and elevate and grow, and sometimes we get triggered on many things in our past, but if you can't heal yourself and grow through that, then how can somebody be attracted or resonate with your energy? And if they don't resonate or attract to your energy, or if you're blocking yourself, or if you're self-sabotaging yourself constantly from this because you're not healing, you're not growing yourself, what is the result? How can you gauge that? Sometimes you can look at the business and you can gauge that. If you're constantly recruiting people, but you're going through what they call an attrition rate, if people are just coming and going through your lines and through your life constantly, that could be a sign. Does that make sense? In this business, I've been in the industry for 20 years. I had to go through major self-healing, self-growing, a lot of it, right? I spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars going through that process. It took many years. But the one thing that kept me going is I just knew how to build relationships, and I kept relationships even though I was going through my own internal healing and awakening. Does that make sense? You can do that too, but I did not go through a lot of people. I kept my circle kind of close and my outside circle even closer. And that's how we develop relationships. And because I knew where I was going, my leaders or my friends, they just knew to follow me because one day they know that Peter's going to break through some way, somehow, right? Because they just believed me. So I'm only telling you this because you're going through a journey right now. Remember, each one of us is going through a journey. The business, okay, network marketing or get over the imposter. You also have, I can't believe you wrote that, the imposter syndrome, because that's so true. Okay, because sometimes that imposter could be that ego death of you. That imposter could be that old you that's trying to break through the shell. And how do we know? Because when you're surrounded by a community and an environment like this, there's a lot of light. That light will kind of shine that darkness out of you, or will bring that out of you some way, somehow. And if you cannot handle it, that means you have that more internal work that you need to do. Does that make sense, everyone? Sometimes you want to break through in this business so much. You're saying the right thing, you're doing the right thing, but how come these people are not staying, or how come I'm attracting the wrong people? Do you question that sometimes? That's an internal thing. Okay, so again, I go through this every day. Heck, I just went through it today and last night and this last week. I'm constantly going through this. But at the level I'm at, I just deal with so many people. So I have to adapt and adjust with so many personalities and characters. And it's actually could be draining. It could take a lot of energy away from me. So that's why I have to really have boundaries with a lot of people in a sense. And we have to know where everyone comes from. So in my world, there's leadership, there's family and friends, right? There's business, family, and friends. Everybody has categories or little boxes that have to go into. And that's why the BLD, the breakfast, lunch, and dinner, is so important, because I have certain people I deal with during breakfast time. I have certain people I deal with during lunchtime, and I have certain people I deal with during dinner time. Is that the same for you? Do you have certain people that you deal with in certain times of the day? And then what do you do with those people? What do they mean to you, right? Are you evaluating those relationships? So now, if you look at my phone book, everyone, I don't even know how to say this. All my friends are business partners. I probably have rarely, maybe 10%, or maybe I'd say 80-20 rule. 80% of my friends are all distributors now, and 20% of my friends are just friends that are not in the business at all. So 80% of my world is just hanging out with my partners like you. That's my world, okay? But that's why my world is actually easier now. Why? Because I am who I am. I am who I am to my partners, right? So I talk like this all the time. I share stuff like this all the time. My friends that are not in the business, they don't get me sometimes, because I say things that it does not make sense to them. Does that make sense, everyone? So now your life, your friends, how is your life going? How do you guys communicate, right? Do you notice that maybe if you've been here for 3, 4, 5, or 4, 3, 2 years now, that a lot of your contacts are really your business partners too? Doesn't that make your life easier, Karen? I mean, don't you learn you're growing every day? Isn't it nice to hang out with like-minded friends all the time? So I don't even know, like, the topic of today, but really today I wanted to just touch base on our flow, our leadership. So Again, are you leading yourself? Now, once you're leading yourself, the next thing is, are you leading an organization? What does it take to lead an organization? This is why we've created this flow system. This is why we've created the 3-3-3. Because once you start learning where you want to go, you're going to have to plug into something bigger. You all agree? And if once you understand the flow of our 3-3-3 system, the morning times with Marcy, the morning times with Marcy is called the building times, everyone. You're building your business. You're building your body by learning these patches. You're building your brain by learning information, right? By what you're reading, by what you're absorbing on Zoom. And in the morning, when you're hanging out with Marcy at 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock, right? When you're building together. Once you're done with that, how many of us are joining? How many of us are on Marcy's call in the morning? How many are plugging in? Once you're done with that, how do you feel when you're done working with Marcy? Boom. Do you feel like you're checking things off in the morning? That's like a morning workout, right? And then once you build something in the morning, boom, you're leveraging Peter No at lunchtime at 12:30 right now. Isn't that pretty cool? So we're building something in the breakfast time. We're leveraging something at lunchtime. And then you feel more better now because you're learning something more. And then boom, at nighttime, today we have Marcy's patching party, right? At 4 p.m. Pacific time, everyone. Now you're going to invite whatever you learn in the morning, whatever you learn at night, whatever you're applying in the dinner time, you're building a business now. Once you're doing this and you're doing this a week, a month, a quarter, a year, and you start building an organization, are you leading an organization now? Yes, you are. Did it happen subconsciously? Yes, it did. Because you're plugging into our energy, our ecosystem. Because you trust us. Because we inspired you. Because you're giving us your time. Now, do you have to do this breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day? No. That's why it's called a spare time, part-time, and a full-time gig, side gig. Like Henry, he runs a nail salon. He's busy, but he's still giving us an hour, 2, 3, 4 hours a week because he wants to learn, right? Because Heidi is busy. Roxanne is busy. Jan is really busy. She's constantly doing things, but she's always plugging in to these calls because she's learning something every day. We are all learning something together, but now this call, we're going to learn how to define what you're doing. You're learning how to lead an organization, everyone. At the beginning stages, and now with our rank calls, with our rank trainings, we're actually defining your rank, and we're going to train you at the rank you are so we can train you up to become a leader from the bottom up now. Because we want to define your time, right? So outside, bless you, Lynn. So outside of now leading an organization, are you leading your community? Who do you have to be to lead your community now? So for example, if Karen Miller has been learning all about these patches, and all of a sudden she starts having community events, right, Karen? And all these people are coming to your place, coming to your meetings. People are getting healthier. And now your pastor, your bowling your bowling club, your tennis club, your car club, your Girl Scouts. All these people are joining us now. Are you helping your community get healthier? Are you leading your community? So now you're leading yourself. You're leading your organization. You're leading your community. And you're doing this every day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You're doing this, working an hour or two a day, or maybe 3 hours or 6 hours or 9 hours a week. You're constantly plugging into the system. 333. You're constantly meeting new people. You're creating new energy. Do you know every time when somebody comes on this call, that is another energy ball that gets added to this energy? Every time when another person, last night, there was 504 people on. How many patches do you think 500 people had on last night? If each person had 2 patches, that was 1,000 patches that came through that screen last night. Now do you understand what we're doing every day? Okay, so I'm actually liking where this podcast is going today, because we're learning how to evolve our leadership, and I want you to understand your schedules, and I want you to understand boundaries. I want you to understand all these little words, okay, that can help you now to listen to it and clear it in a sense. So does anybody want to share what they got out of the first 30 minutes? Did that resonate with you? Okay. Now, as we're flowing through the schedule now, we're not done yet, okay? This is only the beginning of the new schedule. But by the end of this month, really by the end of this month, we can totally gauge our volume. We can gauge our cycling. We can gauge our generation match, what is happening. Because every week now, Marcy and I, Dr. Stacy, our whole leadership group, we are going into the ranks now. We are really going into the leadership. And every week, we get to gauge numbers. What kind of a business are we that we are all independent distributors, but we all want to help each other's business this way? This is good stuff. This is the benefit of network marketing. Okay, so let's talk about now. Does anybody want to share anything before I move to the next topic? No? Okay, it's that good. We're moving forward. Oh, Heidi wants to share.
Well, just from yesterday's call, you already established for me how to kind of set my schedule up, because it was all over the map.
Yes.
And you said something simple, get some of your folks on the call. So I started texting and calling. Nobody got on the call, but I felt proud. I did my duty. I did my due diligence. I got on the call because, again, there was less calls to get on. So that was very helpful. So it was a really great start. It's such foundational, but it's helping me. So those are key ingredients that I can help my team and help others with.
Wow, thank you, Heidi. And you know what? Just for you listening to a couple of calls yesterday and understanding now where to do every day for moving forward now, how much time you need to put into it, how you can flow and leverage things. And even last night, I'm plugging into all the calls. All the leaders now are plugging into every night. I took that recording, Heidi, from Dr. Stacy, and I blasted it through my entire field. So now I'm taking that recording, everyone, and I'm just sharing what I've learned yesterday. Today, I might get inspired by Marcy. I will take that recording and I'm going to share it again. And then Thursday, I might hear a testimonial on the testimonial call. I'm going to get inspired. I'm going to share that again. And Heidi, even if there's no one that you got today, but even if you're doing those repetitive things, right? You're constantly learning how much time you're spending in a day, and later all that will pay off as you're just duplicating things. Did everybody hear what Heidi said, right? How many of us are feeling so much lighter now as we go through the week? Because I can tell you I'm feeling a lot lighter. Okay, so now
Peter,
go ahead.
I'd just like to say that you inspired me yesterday to make sure that I sent a blast out on the patching party tonight, because that little flyer is just so sweet. You don't have to say anything. You can just, and it's colorful, and people will stop and look at it, and then it's up to them to come. But you're right. Just like Heidi said, I was inspired to do my part. So, thank you.
I love it, Mitch. And Thomas asked, what methods do we blast out our information? So this is a very good one, Thomas, going into here. Everyone, you have your own personals. I have my own personals. So Thomas, on my Facebook Messenger, I have a list of my left leg and my right leg. My personals, their first generation, and their second and their third generation. And then I let them add their people into those threads. And I'm only responsible to post on that thread and that thread. And from there, it just spreads out. Did everybody get that? So you have your own personals. You can make your own personal list. So wherever you get information, just imagine thousands of us are just sharing internally. I cannot post on every page. I'm just posting on the Team Evolve, Facebook, the Telegram, and my personal messenger lines. That's it. And it only takes me 3 minutes to do all that. Make sense? So,
Peter?
Yeah.
Sorry. This is really great. This is really important because time gets swallowed up the more we involve ourselves with the helping of people. And so we have to continue to utilize all of these great things that this company and our Evolve team especially has put there for us to be successful and to manage and teach others how to manage their time and grow their individual business, which is what we're all doing.
Correct.
And so it's not easy. It is time consuming, but it is simple because of the system that you guys, our forerunners, our forefathers and mothers in this business of Evolve have laid out. That system is flawless. That system is improving, like
Flawless.
David is improving with products and everything for us. This is just so phenomenal. And for folks who haven't been in this before, just hang in there, because right now Peter is cutting years of time and frustration away from you. This is phenomenal, folks.
You,
this is learning time. Thank you.
And again, we're almost getting to a point, everyone. I don't even want to call it dummy proof, but anyone can do this. There is absolutely no way you cannot get excited about something and invite them to everything we have, and that's it. We have literally taken away every single responsibility that you do not have to do as a brand new professional network marketer. Remember, the average network marketer only recruits 1.5 in their entire career. The half stands for a dog, cat, and a horse. Remember that. But when you become a manager here, you already have enrolled 4 people. That means you're 250% above average when you become a manager here. Okay. So I'm going to call on Linda and then Donna. Go ahead, Linda.
Peter, last night I was looking on the business site and I came across the PowerPoint presentation. Tell me, are we using that at all? Can we use it?
No, we don't use PowerPoints. If you want to use PowerPoints to present, next week, I'm actually teaching you how to use the website on your phone to present. That will be your
Perfect.
instant present.
Oh,
PowerPoints,
perfect.
yeah, next week I'm teaching you how to present on your phone. And I'm
I'm
going to
so
teach that.
glad. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. I was thinking of taking a video of the PowerPoint and putting it on my phone. So you're ahead of me. Thank you.
Yeah, we're staying away from PowerPoints. Maybe that was a one that Dr. Stacy and Marcy did on the Thursday nights, but that is obsolete now. The reason why we got this far, everyone, is because when you start using PowerPoints, you're going to have to learn how to present. Presenting it's people are afraid of presentation. So that's why we present for you. But next week, I'm going to show you how to, Linda, if you go to Starbucks and you made a friend and they're like, what do you do? Hey, what have you heard about stem cells? Oh, I've heard a lot, da, 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 da. And then boom, hey, do you have a phone? Let's whip out the phone. Let me type this website on here. And then you and her go together, scroll through it for 1 or 2 minutes. And that is your presentation. Okay. That is the best presentation we can do. And that's duplicatable. And they have your information on their phone already. So there's a lot of psychology to that one. Okay. Donna and then Michael. Donna, you want to share something?
Hey, just really quick. I kind of wanted to piggyback on Co. So the learning curve, like, what the heck? If I had this 10 years ago, Peter, no, Peter, no, knows where I've been and knows the struggles that I come with. But you know what? The empowerment that you've given all of us and the, I'm reaching here. The feeling of just the feeling of empowerment is tremendous. Yeah. Love you, sweetie.
Love you. And thank you for leading over. You know, Don and I, we knew each other with all our friends in our previous company. No matter how hard we worked, no matter what we did, we could not break through. And the reasons why we could not break through is exactly what I'm teaching today, 10 years later. The company, the compensation plan, the leadership, the system, the technology. All those reasons could not be your fault if you don't know how to recognize what you need to build. You can be the greatest person. You can be the most popular person, the person that knows the most amount of people, leaders. But if you're in the wrong ecosystem, like myself that I was in, I spent 7 years in that company and I went broke. How do you go broke after working a company for 7 years? That means you're doing a lot of things wrong. A lot of things wrong. Okay. So that's why I appreciate everything that David has here, because building with David, going through this compensation plan, allowing us to become the better versions of ourselves because he does not pressure you, gives us more time to think, gives us more time to create. And Marcy and I and our leadership group, we have lived through the comp plan. Does that make sense? We're not teaching you anything we haven't done. We're teaching you something that has already been done. We're just teaching you we're teaching you now how to run through the door now that is open. Okay. And that is open for everyone. But this conversation today is, are you leading yourself? Are you allowing yourself to go through that door And if you're not, recognize that, heal it, fix it, and then run through that door, because that door will always be open. Does that make sense? Okay. And I know many of us here, I know each one of you. It's not like you're struggling. You're good people. We have good hearts. We work our ass off. But again, sometimes your frequency and sometimes your boundaries, everything we talked about here could be blocking you. So I'm just telling you these things so you can be aware, so you can pay attention and fix it. And if you can't fix it, call me. I have someone that will fix it for you. Okay, for sure. So, Michael.
You led me right in. And the most profound thing I heard this morning was exactly what you said. Are you leading yourself? It's like, it's that simple. And we have nobody to blame for our business, where it's at or anything, but ourselves. And then what you said you said it a long time ago, that this is a self-development journey with a compensation plan wrapped around it. That self-development is what we need to do to lead ourselves and then to lead a team. So I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, Michael. And everyone, Michael has gone through his self-discovery. You know, it was a tough wall, but you know, we're still here, right, Michael? Every day you're constantly learning and you're becoming a better version of yourself. So, oh, wow, we're talking about some deep topics today, okay, everyone? So absorb it. And, you know, to get to the ending of this call, thank you for allowing me. This week is just update week. Next week, the manager's call, the director, senior director call, the leadership call, and the in the know, we are specifically going into topics every single week now, okay? I will have a topic on everything for each rank, and every week I will have a topic for in the know. Next week, we're going into really the 333 and how to share, do a presentation. I'm going into the comp plans a lot, so next week is the real learning week. This week, I am updating everyone. We're going through the whole week of the new schedule from last week to this week. Things are really changing week by week by week here. So to end this call and to close it up, let's talk about the world, what's going on. And then I want to end it with October. So, is this world right now going a little crazy?
Yes.
It is, right?
Yeah.
There is so much information and misinformation out there. There is so much separation and, propagandas, or maybe there's so much politics. There's so much finance stuff. There's so much, all this fake foods, all this healthy food, all these things are out there, correct? EMFs, 5G. Does everybody kind of sometimes get into a fear mode?
Mm-hmm.
No. Nancy's like, no. Okay, good. I'm bringing all this up just to let you know, though, we're all protected. Not protected by governments, not protected by authorities or anything like that. You're here, we're actually protecting each other. We're keeping each other sane. When I traveled to Korea and then when I got back to Florida, it's kind of amazing that you can go for a week or 2 or 3 weeks and not and kind of be turn off the whole podcast. But then after a while, you start missing something in your life. You can travel the world alone, but guess what? When you plug into our community like this, the moment we plug in, we feel like we're never alone again. Do you guys get that feeling too?
Yeah.
Okay. This is what we call building a network. This is what we call building a community. You know, I still remember the time, I think Annie DeCoker, something happened to her son, and she called me, and then we called, I don't know if it was Karen, or someone in Arizona. She had no clue who it was. Somebody took her in just because I made a phone call. And then not only did she stay there, she stayed there for weeks or something, or months maybe. And then again, now there's relationships that are being built. The moral of the story is this: every day when you feel fear, or you know the world is going to shits, whatever it is, we're still here. I don't even know what else I would do if we would go into that lower frequency, because every day we have to keep ourselves in this higher vibration now. The only way to keep it in a higher vibration is, again, you have to have your own boundaries, and you got to protect yourself. Protect yourself for not only yourself, but for your teams. Protect yourself from things that cannot happen to you for your teams. And especially the bigger you are as far as your rank, you have a lot of influence, and a lot of people are relying on you. That's why the leaders have to protect the leaders. And that's why the leaders have to protect the organizations. Does that make sense, everyone? So now imagine if Team Evolve has over 120 families, 120 accounts that are executive directors, presidential directors, and senior presidential directors. Imagine if these are 5-figure, 6-figure, and 7-figure annual earners. Do we have enough money in our ecosystem to take care of each other? Yes. This is what you call leadership. This is internally. So as we're going to embark into the world, I'm just telling each one of us here, in the next 6 months, we will define your bodybuilders, because once you go out into the world, you have to know who your 2 friends are that you can trust. If anything happens, you can always call on them. Does that make sense? I have more than 2. I can make one phone call and I can get a lot of help anywhere I am around the world now. But because of who I am, you're my partners. Does that make sense? We can help each other. That is called a network. And this is priceless, because there are many, many, many teams in network marketing. There are many teams in LifeWave that don't have this kind of camaraderie the way we do. So just know, as we're going to grow in the next 6 months, I'm telling you every day, I'm going to say this every single week until October hits. Wait till you see what David comes out with in October. This technology is going to revive every single human that you know. It's going to wake up every single human cell that you possibly think of that is not covered by the patches already. Right? This is a mic drop, Janice. Exactly. And I don't know how to express more like weight, urgency. Every single human that you talk to from this point on, you're leading them. You're leading them to their health, their time, and their freedom, their future. Every day when we train each other like this, even if you hear it over and over and over and over and over and over again, we have to ingrain it into our brains, into our hearts, because this is your one chance, one time again in your life. Only this short period of time are you going to absorb something. It's like almost knowing that we all bought this penny stock, and we all know that this stock is going to hit $1,000 because the world is going to want this product or this technology in their hands once it's released. Okay, I can't tell you what it is. You've already heard it from David. Okay, I'm not telling you what it is, but I'm telling you, It is what it is, okay? And every human will want a part of it. Your life, your children's future, your daughter, your son, your nephews, your granddaughter, your grandchildren, you, each one of us will have a piece. You will have a share of this company. Every human that you introduce this to, just think of it as one stock, one share. How many shares do you have here? And I'm not talking a human is a stock, right? But I want you to think of it as that's how powerful this can be. We want to collect as many shares as possible because this company has a solution for 7.8 billion people. And I'm going to tell you this. This technology that is coming out, it will break the price barrier, meaning that everyone can be helped. Does that make sense? It doesn't even cost $3.33 anymore. It could literally be costing 33 cents to help someone. Think about that. Every third world country, everybody around the world can be helped with this new technology. It doesn't even have to be registered, just to let you know. Think about that. Okay? So we're going to hold each other responsible. Every week, I want to see you invite to the rank calls, your uplines, your teams, your sidelines, your orphans. Every week, these calls are going to get more robust. I'm really learning now, every call now, how to section each one off. And every week, I am going to include you into my trainings all the time. You notice, I love to participate because I want to see you grow. You can only be in the new partners and managers call every 90 days. I want you to grow out of your rank every 30, 60, 90 days. Is that a deal? I don't want you to be stuck at that rank forever, okay? That's why we're doing these calls. We're giving each other 6 months now, starting in April, 2 quarters to break yourself through, okay? We already have a head start. Last night was the indicator. 504 people on a Tuesday. And that's just interviewing each other, okay? Every week it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. I just want each one of you to just absorb this, flow into the new schedule, make life easier. Everyone, make sure you understand what you're doing for 3 hours and 6 hours and 9 hours a week. 3, 6, 9. 30-minute increments, 30-minute increments here and there, okay? Absorb this, learn how to share it, get better at sharing with your teams, get better at inviting every single day, every single week, and see results. The best results is seeing $50 in your back office every time you do an action. Every time you sign up someone on a silver, you earn $50. Every time you you see volume from 2 lakes, you earn $50. Every time you help your generations earn $50, you start earning $12.50 and $10. I want you to pay attention to those little numbers because those numbers need to be consistent. That's how we know you're growing. Is that deal? And we're going to hold each other accountable. No judgments, no time frame, nothing. We're still doing it. But now we're going to do it more methodically. We're going to do it more consistently. And now we're going to train each other through the weeks. Okay. So everybody on Facebook world, I know you had a good training today. We had over almost 110 people here today. I'm going to leave you with this. The morning calls, the nighttime calls, and the lunchtime calls and the nighttime calls. We're talking about maybe 50 to 100, 100 here, 300, 400, 500 every day. Every day we get at least 500 to 700 people in our community watching something. Times that by 5 days. That's 3,000 to 5,000 people every day, every week learning something. Do you see the compounding effect of what we're doing? Okay. This is huge. So I love you all. It's been a great call. Thanks for letting me share. I know we went a lot of deep today. Did we all learn something today? Good. Are we going to be strong leaders and lead ourselves? Good. So I'll see you tonight on Marcy's call, and then tomorrow again. And then on Saturday, we have our training. And all you got to do, you got the whole week to just invite to a few calls, okay? Enjoy your downtime. Always understand your 333s. And then I'll see you later tonight. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Peter.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Rob.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.